All right, what's up, fellas? Time for Wake Up Mintzy, the afternoon version. Drinking some Stella Blue. Got my dude wipes set up, ready to roll. Uh, I mean, crazy day in America for sure. We're not going to get as much into that because we stay away from the politics, but definitely very, very sad. I want to make some but regardless, we're here. We're ready to make some money this weekend. And I am excited about this DraftKings lineup because we've got a great board of college football this weekend, and I'm super, super, super stoked about it. This is going to be the biggest weekend of gambling so far, and I'm very, very pumped about it. And I've got a fun trip lined up. I'm going to Notre Dame, it looks like, Saturday for the first time to go to Texas A&M Notre Dame. And that's going to be freaking amazing. I have never been to a game. Going to go hang out with Touchdown Jesus. That's Saturday night at 6:30. Bunch of other games to get into. We're going to make some freaking money on DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm joined, as always, by Tyler Moody from Louisiana. Hope Mr. Moody's doing well. Last night, we had the Barstool After Dark Perfect Game stream. Shout out to Joliet Catholic High School for hosting us. We were out there for about 4 hours, a little over it. I think it started at 6, ended about 10:30. Some controversy as always, but we got it done. I was not the best catcher, but I saw some funny clips posted of me like Yadier Molina fielding the bunt. But shout out to everybody, the After Dark crew that produced it, Lucas, Tate, and Ryan, and everyone. That was a lot of fun. And now we're looking ahead to this weekend, and we got a lot of games ahead to touch on. And NFL starting Thursday night with the Commanders in Green Bay is the start of it. I'm excited for that. Green Bay, a 3.5-point favorite, over under of 48.5 in that game. That's going to be a hell of a game. Kind of lean the under there in that one. Should be a great matchup for sure. Green Bay's defense so dominant against Detroit. Got to feel good if you're a Packers fan right now. Coming off that huge Week 1 upset or beat down to Detroit. The Commanders, ton of momentum as well after beating the Giants. But all right, let's get into the college football is what I want to talk about. Starts on Friday night, but a bunch of good games. Colorado's at Houston. I actually think Houston is a 5.5-point favorite on DraftKings Sportsbook. I actually think Houston's a sleeper team this year. Willie Fritz in his second year did an awesome job at Tulane. They smoked Rice 34-9 on Saturday. They got Connor Wegman, former Texas A&M 5-star quarterback, and he turned his career around at Houston. Colorado trending the wrong way. Post Shedeur Sanders, they're starting a third quarterback that played in the fourth quarter against Delaware. I think Houston might smoke them, and that's kind of one of my favorite games of the week. Some other matchups, though, to get into. What a Saturday we got. Clemson, 3.5-point favorite at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Man, a lot to get into on that one. Haynes King for Georgia Tech, hell of a quarterback. You know, we've seen them really rise the last couple of years. And I don't know what's going on with Clemson right now. So far, you know, we saw them lose to LSU 17-10, getting shut out in the second half. And then they were down 16-3 at halftime to Troy. Absolutely abysmal first half. They did come back and beat them 27-16. And this line opened at 6.5 for Clemson in Atlanta. And now it's down to 3.5. And I think Georgia Tech's got a real shot here. They're a dark horse in this ACC, and they're a live dog. This is an old rivalry in the ACC. Should be a hell of a game to start the Saturday. And then we really get into the meat of it. Georgia and Tennessee. This line has gone all the way down to Georgia by 3.5. Tennessee's got 2 starting corners out. One of the storylines of college football that I thought is interesting this offseason was, and we were all wrong about it, it seemed like Tennessee was falling down with no Nico, but it actually is addition by subtraction. Because look how bad UCLA is. And Joey Aguilar coming over from App State, they scored 45 points in the opener against Syracuse. They actually got a blessing there, the way the whole Nico thing went. And now Tennessee, a live home dog, catching 3.5. Can they upset Georgia in that afternoon game? And then Saturday night's freaking amazing. I mean, we got A&M catching 7 or 7.5 at Notre Dame. I kind of lean A&M in this game. I'm a little worried about the run defense, though, But Notre Dame just has a tendency to play close games. A&M lost them 27-13 week 1 last year in College Station. And now they're catching 7.5 on the road. We'll see what happens in this revenge match for A&M, but I think they got a real shot. A lot of underdogs in the sports Saturday I like. Ole Miss and Arkansas, 6 p.m. on Saturday. Ole Miss a 7.5-point favorite. We'll see what the Rebs got. Austin Simmons having some health problems, Ole Miss quarterback. He hurt his ankle against Kentucky last week, but should be able to play. How effective will he be is a big question. But Ole Miss's backup, Trinidad Chambliss, can run. Had a great season last year at Ferris State. I believe D2 won a title. So we'll see if the Rebs can respond. Ole Miss beat Arkansas 63-31 last year. It's a revenge game for Arkansas. But games in this series are always dicey. And Arkansas with Taylor Green in his second year, the Boise State transfer, showed some promise last year. Bobby Petrino, great play caller. Arkansas could fight the Rebs. I mean, that's certainly happened before. Other games I want to touch on, LSU and Florida. LSU is a 7.5-point favorite. Florida off a disastrous loss last week to South Florida. I mean, tons of heat on Billy Napier this week, falling 18-16 in that game. And they had a lot of momentum going into the year. Florida closed a lot strong last year, beating Ole Miss and LSU, but all of it's gone off that loss. I mean, they were a 17.5-point favorite. Terrible loss, but their defense is still good. And the games in this Florida LSU series also always sticky. Just one of the craziest series really there is in college football. A lot of bad blood on both sides. And I wouldn't rule Florida out even off the loss. LSU's offense, for some reason, I don't know what the hell is going on, but they struggled against Louisiana Tech. They got an offensive lineman out. Tight end Trey Green out as well. And with all the talent LSU's got, with Garrett Nussmeier back as a Heisman candidate and a ton of talent in the receiving core, they really didn't get untracked against Clemson or Louisiana Tech the first 2 weeks, but the season's young and the talent level's there. But that should be a hell of a game as well. And then I'm also really excited about Duke and Tulane in New Orleans. Former Tulane starting quarterback from last year, Dario Mintza, coming back to New Orleans. He now starts for Duke. Duke's a 1.5-point favorite. This game is super circled on the Tulane calendar all year long. And there's been some very weird point spread movement in this game. Duke opening is a 3-point favorite. I mean, a 3-point under. No, Tulane opened as a 2.5-point favorite. It got bet up to Tulane -3. And then now all of a sudden, heavy money came in on Duke. And now Duke's a 1.5-point favorite. Very odd point spread movement in this game. And so very curious to see what happens in that game in NOLA. It's weird. It seems like some sharps might like people. It might like Duke, but I don't see how. I mean, I think Tulane's going to be ready. I got a question from the chat. We've got a question saying, do I think Colorado wins straight up against Houston? I actually love Houston in this game. Houston, a 5.5-point favorite. I think Houston might win like 34-10. This is actually one of my favorite games of the year. And I kind of touched on it for a second, but I'll get into more. Willie Fritz, second year, did an awesome job building up Tulane's program. They were Houston last year, his first year there. They like literally couldn't throw a forward pass. They had a quarterback that could run but couldn't throw. They played a ton of low-scoring games. They had a good defense. Now, after he gets Connor Wegman from Texas A&M, who was a former 5-star, he's got a little more of a semblance of a passing game. And Houston's got money. This is the NIL world now. And they got Tillman Fertitta's money behind their program. I had them as one of the sleepers. I don't know if they can win the Big 12 this year, but I think they can make a bowl game. And I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams in the country. And their effort last week against Rice, look, I'm not sitting here saying Rice is some world beater, but they have improved. They won at UL Lafayette as a 10-point dog week 1. Houston came out and smoked them 34-9. And I just think this Colorado thing is trending downward. You look at I'm actually surprised Deion's still there. You look at he was built coaching his sons, Shador and Shiloh, and now they're on their they're going with their third string quarterback, which I think is a bad sign. And I know they fought Georgia Tech, but in that game, Georgia Tech had 3 turnovers in the first half and still won that game. So my instincts really, really lean Houston in that game. Vandy, South Carolina, another extremely interesting game in the SEC. South Carolina's a 5.5-point favorite. It's always like dangerous to do the common opponent thing. Vandy and South Carolina both played Virginia Tech the first 2 weeks. South Carolina struggled against them, ended up pulling away and covering off a punt return for a touchdown and a bomb to Nick Harbor in the fourth quarter. Vandy, Virginia Tech was a very close game early, and then Vandy just dog-walked them. Ended up winning 44-20 in Blacksburg. And so, a lot of times you do the common opponent thing and makes you like Vandy in this game. But Vandy, as long as Diego Pavi is healthy because he runs a lot, he's not too banged up early part of the season, they got a shot, man. They got smoked last year at home by South Carolina 38-7. But South Carolina isn't the same this year, I don't think. They lost a lot off their front seven. They still have Dylan Sanders, one of the best pass rushers in college football. Still Lenore Sellers, dynamic running threat at quarterback. But they still lost a lot off that defense, second-round safety to the Cowboys. And they lost one of the SEC Defensive Players of the Year. So I'm looking at Vandy in that game as a possible live dog. But a lot of stuff on this board to like this week, and I just can't wait to get the college football back. Saturday morning, come join me. We've got at Montrose Harbor at 7:30 the Paul Chicago annual 5K, the most pet-friendly 5K in the world. I'm running the Chicago Marathon for Paul's October the 12th. This is a perfect tune-up. Stella Blue, our friends here, will be out with a tent, with samples, with stickers. We're going to be out there with the Stella Blue team. Connor Griffin also running. So if you want to get out and get some exercise Saturday before a long day of football, come join us, sign up with Paul Chicago to run the 5K. And drink some Stella Blue coffee. But excited about getting out there for that. That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And then I can't wait to go to Notre Dame. Like I said, I went to Notre Dame's campus for the Ole Miss Notre Dame second-round women's NCAA tournament game 2 years ago, but I've never been to a football game there. And, I thought about it. I got some A&M friends coming up this week. Shout out Billy Lucci, the King Aggie. But I was debating it, and you know what? If I'm ever going to go to a game at Notre Dame, now's the time. I'm in Chicago. The weather's not cold. It's a Saturday night game, and A&M Notre Dame should be a hell of a game. So I'm super, super pumped about that. It's going to be a great freaking Saturday. And then, man, Barstool rolling as always. So much going on here. Very, very pumped about the football season. All the DraftKings just doing so much stuff right now. The ghost leg parlay being back. All right, Chad asking on Ole Miss Arkansas. We're taking some chat questions. Does Arkansas cover the 8.5? Look, I would lean the Arkansas plus 8.5 slightly. I think this is a night game in Oxford, which gives them Ole Miss a big-time home field advantage. And I love the home edge for the Rebs. But the Austin Simmons thing right now, he sprained his ankle pretty bad, and I think he might be in a walking boot this week. I'm not sure how much he's practicing. And Simmons being the young quarterback that he is, how will he react to playing with the hurt ankle? It's going to hurt his mobility. He's got a ton of talent throwing the ball, but he has turned the ball over 4 times in the first 2 games, which is a little concerning. And Ole Miss kicked the shit out of Arkansas last year. There's no getting around it. Jordan Watkins had 5 touchdowns. Drexen Dart had like 400 yards. And Arkansas has been talking about that all season. And this Arkansas-Ole Miss series is usually sticky. You don't see a lot of blowouts in this series. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas fought hard. But what would concern me on the Arkansas side is they've got a lot of injuries on their defensive line already. And I think Ole Miss running back Quan Lacey could have a field day. Ole Miss looks like they found a revelation at running back. He leads the SEC in rushing with 243 yards in 2 games, 26 carries, 135 yards against Kentucky. And with Simmons being banged up at quarterback, you got to think the Rebs are going to rely on the running game pretty heavy and the home field. But I still don't feel that confident taking Ole Miss laying points. Also got a chat question on Utah-Wyoming. Does Utah cover 23.5? I mean, maybe, as long as Devin Dampier's healthy. That New Mexico transfer Dampier quarterback has been a revelation so far. The man can run like crazy. Gives Utah a dimension they hadn't had with their running quarterback. And we know Utah plays defense. This game being up at Wyoming, I mean, I think Utah easily wins. 23.5 still a big, big number. One game I hadn't mentioned yet, and I'm also getting chat questions on, the South Florida Bulls, one of the stories of the season, 2-0. Smoke Boise State week 1 and then go into the Swamp as a 17.5-point underdog and win outright 18-16. And can they do it a third time? That's a question. They've got a shot, though. The thing is, in South Florida, they've got a dual-threat quarterback in Brown, can run, can throw. Alex Golesh, maybe he just got the Florida job with that win. He would be in line as a guy Florida to look at to ever replace Napier. Former offensive coordinator at Tennessee, was OC when Hendon Hooker almost won the Heisman before he got hurt towards ACL in the South Carolina game 2 years ago. And my question with South Florida, though, it's tough 3 weeks in a row. I mean, they rolled Boise. That game in the Swamp last week, extremely physical. And now they're kind of America's darling. They're catching 17.5 against a Miami team that looked good. And their week 1 home win over Notre Dame. Carson Beck looked rejuvenated. Passing game looked good. Offensive line looked good. The question is, can South Florida do it 3 weeks in a row? I lean them in the points, but I don't think they can get it done. I think it's asking too much, and I also worry about the fact that they might be a little too public of a side now. But regardless, what a story that is, and cannot wait for that game. South Florida and Miami on Saturday. But great slate of college football, though. Clemson, Georgia Tech, Georgia, Tennessee, A&M, Notre Dame, Arkansas, Ole Miss, LSU, Florida, South Florida, Miami, as well as the Duke-Tulane game, which I'm super interested in because of my relationship with Tulane. But this is such a blood game for Tulane after Mensa went to Duke. So excited for all those matchups. And then the NFL slate looks good as well. Thursday night, this Commanders-Packers. Green Bay, actually, the line went from 3.5 down to 3. The over-under is too hot, 48.5 is my strong opinion on it. We saw a ton of unders in week 1. I mean, Ravens, Bills, and Jets, Steelers were shootouts, but literally like every other game, well, Vikings, Bears went over too, but almost all the other games went under. And Green Bay's defense is a point that Moody's made a lot, man. Green Bay might have one of the most elite defenses in the NFL. I mean, they completely shut Detroit and Jared Goff down, allowed only 6 points. The one thing that the Commanders got that the Lions don't got, though, is a mobile quarterback. Jaden Daniels can use his legs, maybe extend some plays. But I just think 48.5 is way, way too high. Green Bay dominated that game, but their offense didn't necessarily look the most dynamic. And I think Washington has not a great defense, but serviceable. And then you look at Sunday, Bills-Jets. Bills a 6.5-point favorite. Kind of lean Jets here, to be honest. The Bills got away with murder. The Josh Allen comeback for the ages on Sunday night. I still can't believe they won it. They won a game and they were a 40-1 underdog as a live line. I mean, I don't know that. That's just literally crazy. I mean, Josh Allen with a superhuman performance in the 41-40 comeback over the Ravens. But the Jets look pretty good in week 1, especially Justin Fields. The last few years, as bad as the Jets are, they tend to fight the Bills at home. And I'm concerned about Buffalo's run defense. I mean, I know King Henry is the king, but, I mean, he had 330-plus yard runs. And the Bills are a little undersized on defense. And Heaven Fields, Breece Hall had a great week 1, 108 yards. And I think the Jets are going to be able to run the ball and stay in this game. And then Justin Fields, look, I'm not saying he's going to have the same game he had against Pittsburgh, but, I think he's got some real momentum. And I actually think he might not suck after all. So I kind of lean the Jets there in that one. Giants plus 5.5 at Dallas. Look, I thought the Cowboys looked good week 1 on that Thursday night. Yeah, they lost 24-20 to Philly, but the defense played good second half. I thought Dak looked good. I know CeeDee Lamb didn't come up with a few balls. I think George Pickens adds a lot to their offense, just having a deep threat to roll people off CeeDee Lamb. And this Giants thing, it doesn't look like Jackson Dart's going to be the guy yet this week, but it's coming. They look miserable on offense. Their offensive line looked terrible, and the Cowboys have owned the Giants the last few years. So I actually lean the Cowboys by 5.5 at home. Running through the rest of the board, Cleveland Browns are plus 11.5 at Baltimore. This line's too high. And Cleveland, this is an AFC North divisional battle. I know Flacco playing his former team. I'm not saying Cleveland's good, but they still almost beat Cincinnati. And 11.5 in pro football is just a crazy number. I actually lean Cleveland here to cover. I don't know if they can win, but I think they're going to fight. Anytime you get over, a 10-point underdog in a division game, there's some stuff going on in the Saints-49ers game. The Niners opened as a 6.5-point favorite. It's down to 3. Brock Purdy has a toe injury. And the fact that it's gone 6.5 to 3 makes me think Mac Jones is probably going to start for the Niners. George Kittle on IR. Niners already really banged up. Brandon Ayuk not back till week 6. I mean, they're down some guys. And this line's down to 3. This over-under was 42.5. It's down to 40.5. I know the Saints are bad, but the Niners are super beat up. I think this could be a very, very ugly game in New Orleans. Rams heading to Tennessee. Rams a 5.5-point favorite, 41.5. The Rams are kind of like one of these teams who I like them. I mean, I've been big on them going into the year. I was even talking them Super Bowl future at 22-1. Defense looked really good last week against Houston in that 14-9 win. still, they kind of are like one of these teams. It reminds me of what KC does, where they do just enough to win. And that's what I kind of think might be coming here. And cross-country trip to Nashville, too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rams win or not cover. Jacksonville, Cincy, a lot of fun. High over under 48.5. Jacksonville dominated Carolina. You know, Moody and I both like Liam Cohen. The Bengals' offense always kind of takes a little bit to get untracked in the year, and they had a terrible second half. So I don't know if I can necessarily confidently back them in this game. I do think the Detroit Lions bounce back. Wretched week 1 at Green Bay, but now they're a 6-point home favorite over the Bears. I think Detroit's offense gets untracked in that dome, and look for Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams to break out. Seattle at Pittsburgh. Seattle catching 3, the DK Metcalf Bowl. Stu Feiner can't find the studio. I'm about to run him down. I'm gonna call him. I'm calling Stu on air right now, telling him where we're at. This is gonna be funny. But anyway, Pittsburgh a 3-point favorite, and DK Metcalf playing his old team in Seattle. Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns last week. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this game. And Pittsburgh, defense had a bad week, but they did make – Jalen Ramsey made that play at the end of the game to win it 34-32. Stu to voicemail. That's funny. I think the Steelers do bounce back. I don't think Sam Darnold's got enough legs. Jackson Smith and Jigba had a huge week 1 for Seattle. But the rest of their team, I just question their offense, and I think Pittsburgh wins this thing. All right. Here's Stu. Stu, we're waiting on you. So I'm to the left of the control room. I'm about to walk outside to flag you down. Okay. All right, I'm going to get Stu. Hey, Stu. Stu, come here. All right, come on. And now we're back, and the man, the myth, the legend, Stu Feiner, is in the house. Hang on, I got to give you a hug. Hadn't seen you in the flesh. You look good.
You look so thin.
Yeah, you
look thin. I'm hanging on for dear life. I'm in amazing shape.
You look, your shape.
Physically, I'm good.
Yeah, get that. Grab that mic. You don't need the headset. Just grab the mic.
My calves, my hammies are great, and my as far as my wind, it's phenomenal. Just I'm slipping a little bit now because I can't go 7 days a week because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I'm in Chicago. The last week I exercised both days in Chicago, but I didn't yesterday, I didn't today. I'm slipping a little bit with sugar, so I'm in trouble.
Well, I think you look awesome, man. I got to say, you've been doing the exercise thing. I mean, you not just when you've been doing it, you've been doing 8.8 miles.
Yeah, I did 600 miles in like 76 days. I averaged 8 miles a day. I averaged 8 miles a day for 2.5 months.
That's incredible.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, well, you feel good?
I feel amazing. I feel great, you know.
Well, I feel better just seeing you in the house. I love you, Stu.
You look so thin.
Thank you.
Andy said you look younger and thinner.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the anti-aging. You know, I think my skin's looking good, and you know, I got to talk. So Stu's been like, I mean, almost like a dad to me at Barstool. I mean, I would like almost go that far. And Stu's been my number one confidant getting ready for the Chicago Marathon, and he's been in my ear yelling at me, you know, about how serious this is. And man, I got the 19 the other day.
Very proud of you.
But I will say, my right leg went numb on mile 19. Like, I was trying to go to 20, and my body, like, you have to listen to your body, and my right leg just said no. When I got to 19, I pushed it from 15 to 19, so I got 2 more long ones. I'm going to try to get it to, like, 20, then 22, I think. Does that make sense?
You got to do so now. You need a 21 and a 23.
I agree with what you said on it.
Because I mean, you have to do it. You just have to power through, because no matter how much is your body has to feel the shock of that. So when you actually do it, you know you can do it.
Well, I hope so. Okay, hang on, your mic's not on.
My mic is not on.
It is now. All right, should be now.
Okay, good. Will someone know if it is?
Yeah. We're good. Anyway, all right, back to the return of Stu Feiner. Love you. You're doing good. The 8.8 miles a day. So, okay, where are we at? We're having State of the Union on the marathon thing. 19's good, though, right?
No. True. Can I say something to you?
You can say whatever you want to say.
I never in my life thought you'd be able to do above 16 in my fucking life. I figured you'd start, if you ran the race, you'd start walking at mile 16. So for you to get to 19 miles plus is an insane, inhuman, unbelievable accomplishment. So you have to be super duper proud of yourself because, I mean, truth be told, as far as a runner's concerned, you're still 40 fucking pounds overweight.
No doubt.
And you're in how old, mid-30s?
42.
You're 42 well, now you look 32. But
I think I look
you're
like
42.
35.
No, you look like you're in your 30s. You're 42 fucking years old. So in other words, 40 pounds overweight, 42 years old. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster when you're talking the marathon. Half marathons, quarter marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks. You could do them in your fucking sleep. You could do them on cocaine. You could do them on heroin. You could do them drunk. You could do them flying out of your bed. When you go past 16 miles, your body repels. It is not a natural function. No matter how hard you train, your body is going to break down. Plus the fact you got 40 fucking pounds of weight on you that literally should be there, should not be there. So I'm very proud of you. I'm shocked, matter of fact. So it shows that if you can get a 21 under your belt, you get a 23 under your belt, you're gonna do an under 5 hour marathon.
Well, my thing with it, okay, and I'm trying to figure out the right mindset because I've been coached that it's a 20-mile race and a 6-mile race. What I've noticed, I can get to that half. My body's wired for the 13 now. Like, I get to the half, and then the race starts when I get to the half marathon.
Okay.
Is what I've noticed. Like, I get to that half, and I'm fine, but then it's after that, it's a battle. Then this time, I got to 13.4, and I'm like, okay, I got to get 6.6 to get to 20, and I got to 19, and, like, I did 19.2, but that was it. And I gave it everything I had on that one too. Like, this was an empty the clip, because I was really trying for that 20. But I think we can. I think you're totally right. 2 more long runs, because people have said, "Oh, if you can get to 20, you can get to 26."
That's
I
not
disagree.
True. No, that's not true. You still got 6.2 miles left after running 20. If that's a 15-minute mile, your last 6 miles, you're talking an hour and a half. So it's very easy for someone to say that. But after you ran for 4 hours, you still got to do another hour and a half where every fucking quarter mile is death. So you need to press. You need to push. Now, if you're going to walk it no matter what, if you can't run, even if you're crawling, you're finishing.
Yeah.
Whether you die on that finish line and October's your death sentence, you're going to do it because that's the type of guy you are. You're never quitting. If you're throwing up and blood's coming out of your mouth, you're still walking straight ahead. You're crossing the fucking finish line. But your body will be able to remember. It will have a muscle memory. Your cardio will have a muscle memory that when it feels like you're dead and you're done, you're not. You're literally not. You're not. You could still go. So in other words, it will just make your time much better. It will make the experience much better. I don't break through.
I don't want. I got to get to where I just, even if it's a slow jog, I got to. That's what I'd like to be able to jog.
Right. Because I mean, in reality, your time does not matter. It's finishing the race.
Yeah,
that's the key.
I'd like to be under 5.5 hours though.
I mean, you're right there now.
No, I'm right there right now.
You're right there right now.
If I can run to the 26.
Correct. You're right. You're right there right now.
Well, I'm excited because it's fall and you're back in the office Tuesday and Thursday. Love Advisors. Y'all are. It's rolling. I mean, I was dying watching the episode last week. It's like my favorite Barstool show.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Dave was there, and Dave, you never know what you're getting with Dave. You just don't know because there's so much on his mind all the times, whether it was 8 years ago, season 1, episode 1, or it was last week, season 8, episode 1. Dave immediately starts, Hank had to bribe me with Adderall. I'm not really here. I'm, tired. I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, W, X, Y, Z going on. True. So true. And, like I destroyed him today on Season 8, episode 2. I ripped him a new fucking ass.
Who, Hank?
No, Dave. You know, well, he wasn't there, but I pointed at the camera and I said, you fucking bitch. I don't give a flying fuck about what you got to do. That's not my fucking problem. And no one gives a fuck about a guy that has a $50 million house in Nantucket, two $15 million apartments in New York, a fucking $30 million mansion in fucking Miami, and wherever, and can do whatever the fuck he wants to do anytime he has $200 million in the bank. No one gives a fuck about your schedule. If I was him, I would be retired and I would be fucking my brains out, doing kilos of coke, living the world, traveling the world, and never picking up my phone. But he has made an actual conscious decision to still be engaged with a $500 million company, engaged on a daily basis on the internet, on Twitter, and it pays a price. I mean, it pays the price. And he's not a happy guy right now. Like, he's not fucking happy. He's fucking miserable. He's miserable doing every show he does because he's shot. The guy's shot. You can't have it all and still work like an animal and still want to have your space. It's impossible. Even Dave Portnoy can't do it. So he's very short-lived for the pace he's at, especially his Fox show. It's going to kill him. Going to fucking kill him. But the way it's going to kill him is he's just going to fucking destroy everybody around him. Like, he's a tough handle on his best day. You got to walk around eggshells around the boss because, look, he's the fucking boss. Whatever he say goes. Really, doesn't matter if we like it or not. He's the fucking boss. He calls the shots. So, but it's extremely uncomfortable when he's uncomfortable and you're in a room with him because that uncomfortability could kill you. You know what I mean? Like, Big Cat was late last week, 15 minutes for the show. So it was just me and him sitting at a desk. Now, he would rather probably get kicked in the balls 10 times than sit with me at a desk for 15 minutes because
that's true.
I'm asking, how's your mother? How's your father?
And he just wants
how's your girl?
He wants to do the show.
Right. He's like looking at his phone.
He's just trying to
saying,
get out of there.
Oh, can Stu just have a heart attack and die so I don't have to just sit with him and answer these questions that I barely can tolerate his breath as is. So, like, he was upset that the show was late, as is. Then when Big Cat came on, he just, he was he didn't give a fuck. He didn't really want to be there, but he plowed through. He's a pro. And look, on his worst day, he's better than everyone at their best day because that's how superhuman he is. But, if you ask, I love him to death. I would kill for him. I would die for him. I'd probably go to jail. I'd do a bid for him. But he's very short-lived for this schedule. This Fox thing absolutely cracked him. There's no way he could do it. He just can't do it. It's just too much. Too much for the guy. And no, he just can't do that and he wants to have a real normal elite jet set life that he's earned. But if you can't spend your money and you have to be on the clock, which at his point is on a phone 7/24, why'd you work so hard? Why'd you make $250? You know what I mean?
All right, we got a question from chat for Stu. Asking, I know you got the baseball picks going. They're asking if you like the Yankees by running a half at home over the Tigers tonight. The Yankees are -175. Carlos Rodon against Jack Flaherty.
Well, Flaherty has underachieved all year, even with the Tigers being one of the best teams in the American League and Major League Baseball. Carlos Rodon is the only reason the Yankees are still in a playoff spot. So they have been phenomenal at home.
Yankees have been hot lately.
They got their dicks kicked in last night. The Tigers are my best bet last night. Let me just look at my stats so I don't just throw shit off the wall.
Look at Stu, the prep.
I never like to lay a run line because in baseball, it's hard enough to win the game if you're forcing someone to win by a run and a half because situationally, they're only playing to win by one.
And also, I think there's a thing where you don't like taking the home teams to win by a run and a half because you get one less at bat.
That is true, too. So let's see. I don't know. They're betting the fuck out of the Yankees like Yankees are going to win easily. I mean, gun to my head, I'd probably take the Tigers. Gun to my head.
Okay. Somebody's asking, are you still doing the Stu Feiner podcast at all?
No, we're not doing it. We just we ran out of time to do it, to be honest with you. I mean, it looks like I do nothing, but I'm an active husband, been married to the same woman for 47 years. I'm a father of 4, and all 4 of my children still live at the house. I'm responsible for a lot of friends' livings, lifestyles, help in so many areas, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, that I just did not have the time for the podcast. I just didn't have it. I loved it. It was great. Me and Alex did a great job together. Even prior to that, I had one on my own. I loved it. I'm the type of guy, you just leave alone in a room and I could talk for 4 fucking hours, even if no one's listening, because I love to talk. And I love myself, and I like to listen to myself talk. So the podcast for now is no. But it can open up any time if I get the right sponsor, and I could be bribed with money. So you never know. But for right now, no, it's dead.
Okay, next up a question. Appreciate the chat, getting questions for Stu and me. They want to know about the first parlay you hit on parlay cards at a bowling alley when first introduced to gambling.
Yeah, that was in 9th grade.
Okay.
And I think the first couple were in 7th grade and then 8th grade. But in 9th grade, I hit several huge parlays, which my father taught me in the 70s and the 80s was free money, home underdogs.
Yep.
And prime time home underdogs, which the prime time game I'm talking about was only one game, and it was only Monday night. So if you caught an underdog on a Monday night, it was free money. And you caught a home underdog, it was stealing money. And then I played also home underdogs throughout the Sunday card. So I would always use underdogs and home underdogs as my beefy money in the 70s and the 80s to play the parlay cards. And my father was in the Farmingdale Jewish Center, and the Jews had bowling league. You know, it was one of those bowling nights. You had a ton of fucking Jews there. And I used to go with my pop specifically to get a hand job from this girl that was always there. She was like a 6.
Bowling alley?
Yeah, she was a 6.
Get a hand job?
Yeah, maybe a 5, but I got a hand job. And also I ate the French fries, which I thought were the greatest thing ever. I triple salt on the French fries at a bowling alley, and getting a hand job at that time was like winning a Super Bowl.
All right. What's funny is when I learned gambling, I was like 15, 16, and the older guy who taught me everything taught me about the home underdogs too. So I actually knew that at the very beginning.
Right.
As well. All right, next up, appreciate the chat with the questions for Stu. He says, what watch are you wearing too?
I only wear the brick watch.
Nice.
And it's the greatest brick watch I've ever seen. And Dave has thousands of these. So I wanted to buy every single one of them for a very low price, like 20 cents on the dollar. And he declined. But I was looking to buy like maybe 10,000 of them at a dirt cheap bottom basement price. And then every big package I sell at StuFeiner.com, I would give the watch away. But it didn't happen.
Well, yeah, shout out. People still DM me about brick watches. DM me, and I'll see what I can do as far as getting them for people as well. All right, next question we got are, how are your loads? Big volumes? Are they getting smaller as you get older?
Well, no, they don't. Listen, what it is this. Obviously, I'm using Viagra. I'm using an enhancement. I have diabetes, so it's almost a miracle my dick gets hard, but it does. And I love my dick, and I love how hard it gets. And I fuck my wife at least once a week. And Jersey Jerry on the show is asking me, how many times do I have sex a week? It's like 1.3. In my 60s. In my 50s, I would say it was twice a week. In my 40s, it was almost every day. And in my 30s, it was more than every day. But my load right now, it is literally impossible. And I, when I was in my 30s and 40s, I was probably the best fuck in the United States. I fist fucked you. I used vibrators. I was a better fuck than Dave Portnoy, and that's saying a lot because he's one of the greatest fucks ever. I would be able to multiple orgasms. So when I came, you give me 5 minutes, my dick's hard again, and I'm coming again.
Wow.
And then you give me like another hour, I'm coming again. But right now, it's one load. It still shoots. It's still impressive. And it looks like, if your mouth was filled with phlegm, like constantly, you had to spit like 6 or 7 times, that's my load. Pungent and still viable, but only one.
Hey, man, it's not bad for mid-60s.
It's fucking a miracle.
Hell yeah.
I'm a freak of nature.
That's
why men want to be me, women want to be with me.
Yeah, you're Stu Feiner, and they're not.
Correct.
All right, the chat is burning some bowls in your honor also. They're asking, what's your dream blunt rotation? That's a great question.
Dream blunt rotation.
That's a great question.
Are we asking people who I have smoked with?
No, this is just.
I haven't. All right, so it could be anyone.
Yeah.
Well, I would pick Jews because I'm a fucking Jew and everyone hates Jews. And fuck you if you hate Jews. So I would go 3 Jews. Moses, Einstein, Freud.
Moses, Einstein, and Freud, the dream blunt rotation.
That would be my Jewish dream blunt rotation. Shout out Jews.
That's amazing.
Shout out Jews.
That is amazing. Next question is: when Two for the Money came out, did they get info directly from you, or did they go behind your back to get info about it?
It was a disgruntled employee's standpoint on him working for me. This kid worked for me from 1990 to 95. He left me. He became a caddy at the Riviera Country Club. He caddied Dustin Hoffman and Danny Gilroy. Danny Gilroy is Rene Russo's husband. He's a screenwriter. The guy gave the person who worked for me $20,000 on the spot to buy his life rights of him working for me. Sat on his desk, Dustin Hoffman's, for 3 years, declined the project. It went back to Danny Gilroy. They shopped it for 7 years. Last house on the block was this guy named Jim Robinson, who owned Morgan Creek Productions. He put up all the money for the movie in 2005, got Al Pacino to play me, Rene Russo to play Sandy, Matthew McConaughey to play the disgruntled employee who wrote his movie about his life working for me. They got Jeremy Piven to play my brother-in-law, Kevin Duffy, and I had to sign off on everything. First of all, I signed off on stating that 85% of the movie was made up. Only 15% was true.
Okay.
Made up.
Loosely based.
They needed my life rights and my signature. So they used my Sports Advisors TV show in the movie Al Pacino, Matthew McConaughey, and Jeremy Piven were on. And that's the movie that hence became Barstool Sports Advisors when 2017, Dave called me and said him, his uncle, his father loved me in the 90s. We used to watch the show. We want to bring it back and rebrand it. And that's how we are now in season 8, episode 2. But to specifically answer your question, 85% of the movie was made up. So they didn't need anything from me. The 15% that was true, yes, I had to sign something allowing them to do it so I wouldn't sue them.
Okay. And the last one I got is back in your blow days, did you have a go-to nostril or did you use both?
I definitely used both because you needed it so that the air passages were free and clear and that it always works better both. You don't want like one side clogged and you're only using one, because I like both and I like doing it all the time, every time. And my blow was never cut with anything. It was pure. Matter of fact, a couple of days ago, it's pure. You know what I'm saying? It is as pure as the driven snow. It's the best of the best. You do not feel edgy. You do not feel paranoid. You could get your dick hard. You could eat on it. Everything's perfect. Like a lot of people say when I do coke, I can't fuck. Well, because it's cut with a stimulant that forces you not to get hard. Stu, I can't eat on coke. Well, that's because it's cut with a stimulant that suppresses your appetite. That's not real coke. That's jerk-off coke. That's cut coke. I don't even know what the fuck that is. But unfortunately, that's 80% of the world's coke. It's not 20% of the world's coke. I'm part of the 20%. I use both nostrils.
All right, there's your answer. Wake Up Mintzy does not advocate doing blow for the rest.
I'm not advocating anything.
No, of course not.
I'm just telling you how I'm not advocating it.
Yeah.
Do nothing what I do and just be in awe of how I do it, and I'm still alive.
I think that's a great way to put it. All right, so football season's starting. I'm excited to see, and I know your backyard. You've been walking to Bethpage Black. Ryder Cup coming up. Are you going to be going to check it out?
Yes, every day. Well, I mean, by the grace of God, and I think I got the voiceover for the Ryder Cup. They're putting together 90 seconds of highlights, the most epic highlights in the world of past Ryder Cup victories. And in the United States, the USA, there's very few because last 2 decades we've struggled. We've came in the favorite at the Ryder Cup, and the Europeans have kicked our fucking asses, but not this year. But anyway, so it was me and John Hamm. I'm very friendly with the Ryder Cup, everything about it. The people that run the tournament, the people that are building the facilities, the people that are going to be involved with all the elite VIPs throughout the world, including Donald Trump coming on Friday. So I'm hands-on with that. They've been swimming in my pool, eating my food, watching games in my house for over 16 months. And the last couple of months, they become super friendly with me. So out of the blue, they asked John Hamm to do the voiceover. And it was either me or John Hamm. And one of the funniest clips you've ever seen in your life, when I got the call, I didn't know I was even in the running. The actual golfers that are participating, from Scotty Scheffler down, are big fans of mine. They're big fans of Barstool's. They're big fans of mine. They fucking love Barstool. They love me. They push for me.
That's awesome.
And I got it. So yesterday, Hank was so gracious, and obviously Dave allowed us to use the facilities here, and we recorded a 90-second voiceover that was killer, killer, killer. So the Thursday is the opening ceremonies, September 25th.
Yeah.
23rd, 24th is Tuesday, Wednesday practice rounds. 25th is Thursday. There's going to be a 200-foot screen behind all the golfers and all the dignitaries that are there, and everybody flying in on helicopters. They got these heliports on the yellow course. There's 6 courses at Bethpage Golf Course. They have the black, then they have the yellow, green, red, blue, orange, I think. And one of the courses, they made a heliport. So all these helicopters throughout the world are just going to drop their dignitaries there. And you're going to have a 200-foot screen. Jimmy Fallon will open with a voiceover on the overall event, and then I come on for 90 seconds, the most insane hype video you ever saw in your life. So I'm so involved with the Ryder Cup. It's so crazy. I'll be there every day, and I can't wait. I can't wait. You know, I'm going to be screaming at the top of my lungs, a G or a PG, Stu. I will not curse. I will not be disparaging, but my energy will be unsurpassed.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Stu. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
What an honor that is.
I mean, it's like, look, I didn't get paid for it.
No,
but it's like 10 million. It's literally worth 10 million in credibility, because now I could become the new Morgan Freeman. I could become the new James Earl Jones, the new Tom Brady, the new John Hamm, doing incredible voiceovers on anything. Because if the Ryder Cup trusts me, anybody's going to trust me.
That's freaking awesome. Well, I can't say I got to the Ryder Cup level, but I had a big surprise this weekend. Before the fourth quarter of the Auburn game, they did a huge video with fireworks in the Auburn Stadium, and they'd used my voice as a voiceover at Auburn this weekend.
Unbelievable!
Yeah, I couldn't.
Congratulations!
I couldn't believe it.
Oh, what an honor!
Yeah, I was on.
What an accomplishment!
I text about it. I was like, "Holy crap!" The video came out. Auburn football released it. Yeah, it was
that's great.
Me saying they had the most underrated atmosphere in the SEC. I'm not an Auburn fan, for the record, but that was cool.
Love it.
Yeah, so, well, Stu, freaking awesome having you back in Chicago. We're going to get some dinner tonight.
100%.
Yeah, and I appreciate, you giving us time, but also just all the love day to day. I can't say enough. Stu and I text every day. The support I get from Stu has really inspired me so much on this health journey. And Stu and I we're kindred spirits because we both have ups and downs.
Well, I would say out of every person at Barstool, let's say there's 200 employees, I'm friendly with everyone. You know me. I kiss ass. There's no reason to shred people that work very hard, that their lives are an open book, that their life is on the line, that really the public is allowed to shred everybody that works for Barstool on a daily basis in front of everyone on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. You could do whatever you want in the comments. So I like to pump everyone up. Saying that, I'm very, very close with about 20 employees that are here, of the top people. Out of everyone, Ben's my favorite. Ben's my favorite. We come really cut from the same cloth. We've had severe problems in our lives.
No doubt.
We've been on the balls of our asses where if we died in our 20s and 30s, nobody would have been surprised. And it's almost like we live parallel lives in a way where we have 9 lives. We catch every break when we're ready to jump off the cliff, and it looks like we're in shame and destitute, and that's the end. For some reason, God pulls us back, and we make a tremendous comeback. So I can so relate to Ben in so many areas like that. Plus, Ben is very sexy. He's very funny.
Let's get hot.
He's extremely talented. He has almost autistic mental ability. You would think the guy's half a R word that we're not allowed to use anymore, but the guy might be the smartest person in the room, in any room that we're in at Barstool or anywhere in the world, has a photographic memory, knows his sports like no other, especially his Southern football and his Southern basketball. He can quote, time, date, and verse what happened as if he's staring at it. So I am very impressed with his ability to do that. I'm impressed with his poker gambling ability when he went on his epic runs, and he's documented winning $700,000. That's a fucking document. No one could ever take that away from him. So I really enjoy Ben in a lot of areas. So he's my favorite person ever at Barstool.
I love you, Stu. You were my favorite. It's a joy to know you. Literally, it's a joy to have you in my life, and I can't say enough about you've invested time and energy in me, and I just appreciate it so much. And you running the 17 New York Marathon, and now I'm booking. With the I feel like there's a lot of synergy in all of it.
Yes,
and I will not let you down. And I'm going to raise some money for Paul Chicago. All right, shout out chat. Thanks for the question, Stu. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow, 4:00. Big breakdown. Don't forget a lot of great promotions to DraftKings, including the Ghost Leg Parlay this weekend. Much love to Stu Feiner and Tyler Moody. Y'all take it easy. Shout out Stella Blue and Do White.